to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the incredibly impressive fan project Star Trek Continues. This is called Lolani. Last time, I was gushing over everything that I was seeing. The incredible replication of the original show. Down to, it was so good that you just got lost in it. I got lost in it. And it just felt like another episode of the show. The attention to detail, just immaculate. I can't tell you how impressed I was. Well, I can. I did. Last time I told you. But I can't tell you how impressed I was. This episode's called Lolani. So, I think it's going to be about an Orion lady. I presume that's her name. But I've been wrong before. Plenty of times. So pull up a chair and settle in. What are you doing standing? Pull up a chair. And we'll get into episode 2. I'll still be gushing, you know, because it's still going to impress me. But we'll focus on the story. We'll have some fun. We'll do some goofing about. And we'll talk about it at the end, as usual. I like the new addition to the... There seems to be a new addition to the cast. Apart from our main crew, they added one more person, a counselor, and I liked her in the first episode. So I hope she sticks around. And that's it. Feel free to point out any cool detail you see that I don't see. And if you don't want to listen to me talking all over this, just go watch it on YouTube. The whole thing's on YouTube. On its own. Now, Captain's quarters. Might need glasses.
Rich to Captain Kirk.
Sue?
Rich to Captain Kirk.
What is it? Is that you, Uhura?
Yes, Lieutenant.
We've received a distress signal from an unidentified vessel. Mr. Spock has requested your presence on the bridge.
Okay.
I'll be right there. We'll continue this later.
What's the book? Curious now. Hey, Sulu.
Nora, anything new?
Not yet, sir.
Sulu?
The ship is coming into range now, Captain.
On screen, there it is.
The vessel's Tellarite in design. Looks like a Begov-class private transport.
What? Hey, mister. Give me your name. Stat. You're now Chekhov. I wonder if they'll give him a name. If they give him a name, he might be important to the episode in some way.
Australia?
New Zealand, sir. Instant Tangaroa. Spent some time studying ship designs of different cultures.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm reading a single humanoid life form. Vital signs are erratic, life support systems are failing.
Uhura, have the sickbay standing by.
Aye, sir.
It may not be prudent to beam aboard an unknown life form, Captain.
It's just one person.
Transporter room.
Go ahead, sir.
Stand by to receive coordinates from Mr. Spock and beam the life from aboard. Mr. Spock, would you care to join me?
Mr. Scott, you have the bridge.
That was strange.
Did they just both say that at the same time? Thanks, Kyle. It's definitely female. It could be Lolani. He's mesmerized.
Jinx, Captain.
Jinx, Mr. Spock. It's something people used to shout when they said the same thing at the same time.
The life form could not be confirmed as Tellarite.
No, Tellarite. Kyle, buddy? Oh. That's no Tellarite. A walking corridor. It's a running corridor now. Oh, camera angle. She's just scared. She didn't mean anything by it. Here's a question, Spock. What do you mean, maybe we shouldn't beam them aboard? What's your alternative? Maybe we should have beamed to their ship? But life support was fading.
Has gone before.
I like the conversation, Kirk talking about Jinx to Spock. It felt natural. Like the sort of thing that would have happened.
Due to a serious breach in transporter room protocol, the Enterprise has acquired an unexpected stowaway.
You're on the Federation Starship Enterprise. I'm Captain Kirk.
Oh,
It's all right. It's all
calm
right.
down, dude. He came running in there.
It's Drake. He won't harm you either.
Stand down, Drake.
Good night.
Can she speak English? Oh, he got her. Oh, nice.
What was an Orion slave girl doing on a Tellarite ship?
And the only one alive there. We're all about the strange camera angles.
Bones, did she give you any trouble?
But she settled down during our tests. The bruising and contusions indicate she has been in a scrap. I also detected traces of blood that are not hers.
Tellarites?
Captain, further scans of the transport reveal the bodies of 3 Tellarites.
Did she kill them all?
Spock, beam over and see what you can find out.
She was purchased directly from one of Orion's wealthiest traders.
Apparently someone wasn't too happy with the transaction.
Careful, Captain. The power of the Orion pheromones.
Spock, it's... all right.
Kirk can handle it.
What's your name?
She looks a little like Katy Perry, I just realized. Also, I said Kirk could handle it, but remember Alan of Troyes? And the tears? Hey, no, I take that back, because he did handle it in that episode. He didn't need that antidote at all. Because his first love is the ship. That ship and nothing more than the ship. So you can't get him with your pheromones, is what I'm saying. But maybe. Do you think I don't think she killed those Tellarites? Well, maybe. Doesn't want to be enslaved. Takes her opportunity.
You're losing your touch, Jim. Maybe she can't understand us.
Approximately 70 years ago, Orion women held dominion over the men.
Oh.
But in a revolt, the men gained control. The women are bred with no education or opportunity, in part to keep them subservient, and in part out of revenge.
Oh. Maybe she can talk to her.
Dr. McCoy requested my presence.
Either she can't speak or won't speak.
Well, it's hard to believe she spent years around slave traders without picking up any language at all.
Lolani.
That's her name.
My name is Lolani.
Oh, she speaks just fine.
I apologize if I've harmed anyone. I was born and raised off-world. When my parents died suddenly, I was returned back to Orion and forced into slavery.
Oh.
The things they did to me.
I'm so sorry.
Please don't send me back there.
No way.
You have no idea what it's like.
Way.
Easy. We'll do anything we can to help you. You're free.
Great. Oh, the pheromones, Kirk. The pheromones. He was already on his knees.
If she's medically cleared, maybe we could move her to guest quarters. Doctor, if you would accompany her.
It would be my pleasure.
She can't get to McKenna.
So according to Chief Drake's report, you have an Orion girl on your ship.
That's right.
That's correct. She was wounded in some sort of assault. If we can confirm that the Tellarites were culpable, could she be granted some sort of asylum?
Yeah.
The Orion system is not a member of the Federation. Their law clearly states that the girl reverts back to the property of the one who sold her.
This does look like, it could be a cameo of some sort. Hey, they got the boomerang! The boomerang, they got the boomerang. That's attention to detail. Because that's one of my things that I used to always point out. Because we first saw the boomerang, at least the first time I remember seeing it was in Court Martial, just on the wall. And then anytime we would go to talk to Starfleet, they would have like part of the boomerang visible in the background. So they remembered. They put it in. Anyway, I'm going to look up her later and see if she's somebody I should recognize. We had Apollo last time. Maybe we've got somebody every time. That's my thinking. Don't let her touch you.
But for the time being, she can...
The girl's owner has already been notified and is en route to you.
Owner?
We cannot risk an interstellar incident over one girl.
Can we pretend she's dead? They all died on that ship. The end.
Are you sure you're okay for a walk?
She's no shoes.
What a beautiful ship. And men and women working alongside each other equally. One gender isn't stronger than the other?
We're each individuals with our own strengths and weaknesses, but we're not defined by our gender.
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah?
It's a good dream, Lolani. One worth holding on to.
Oh, we're on the bridge for some reason.
And this is the command bridge.
Oh, they're all transfixed.
Usually everyone is working. I was just giving Lolani a small tour of the ship.
This reminds me of the Lorelei signal.
But I hadn't anticipated it would be such a distraction.
Back to work, gentlemen.
Not at all, just another day at the office.
Well, hello there. I'm Montgomery Scott,
Oh,
chief
Scotty.
engineer of this entire ship.
That sounds like a very important job.
Aye, it is. Would you care to see my station, lassie?
He's already trying it on. McKenna, keep an eye on her.
Did you hear from Starfleet?
We're allowed to continue our investigation, but as far as she's concerned, our hands appear to be tied.
We cannot simply return this girl to a life of servitude and slavery.
Yeah, we can't.
I'll do everything I can.
Do you always challenge each other in this manner?
No, not always.
Well, I read in some cultures such challenging between males and females is considered a mating ritual.
Well, they might. Yeah, maybe. She's seen him topless.
Not in this culture.
Yes, I mean, no, yes to the no.
They do have chemistry.
I've got something for you I think you're really gonna like.
Shoes?
What is it?
The mercenaries were engaged in a firefight.
Okay.
And what about the merchant, Sev?
Sev Bim Jor. He did not die from a phaser, but from a deep puncture wound to his throat.
From something like a dagger.
There are traces of Lolani's DNA under their fingernails. I believe she was more involved in this incident than she has
Well,
revealed.
boo-hoo.
I'll see what I can gather from here.
Aye, Captain.
Whether she did it or not, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Come in.
How are you enjoying your quarters?
I'm feeling very spoiled, Captain.
I brought you a book. Set on the bridge that you read, I thought you might enjoy it.
Is it the one he was reading?
A gift.
It's about a once great Earth civilization that collapsed from within due to its own moral decay.
That sounds like something that could happen on Orion.
Yeah.
It could happen in any culture where people forget the ideals that made them great. I also have some questions.
I'm sure. It's in my nature to be a good hostess, and since you've given me such a beautiful room to host, what's the use in fighting our natures?
She's doing her thing, Kirk. Careful.
You need to tell me what happened.
They began touching me. The one who bought me got angry and they started fighting. I hid in the corner and closed my eyes. There was so much yelling and fighting. And when the noise stopped, I opened my eyes and they were all dead.
That story isn't consistent with the facts. The one who sold you is on his way here.
Zamenhof?
Yeah.
Please, no. He is a brutal man.
He'll sell you again.
Now I'm free. I was numb and now I can feel. I was paralyzed and now I can dance.
Oh, she's gonna do a dance for you. How can Kirk resist?
This is a bad idea.
This is the best idea. We can go anywhere and do anything.
Well, some things never change.
Please don't let him take me away.
Bridge to Captain Kirk. Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Could you give me 5 minutes?
Kirk here. What is it, Lieutenant?
Mr. Spock and Chief Drake have returned from the Tellarite ship.
Have them meet me on the bridge. That was wrong of me. I know what you're trying to do, but...
She just wants protection.
Seducing me is not the answer.
No, Captain, that was wrong of me. I'm sorry.
Okay, I respect that.
Everyone has the right to be free. I wish it didn't matter what happened on that ship, but unfortunately it does. I'll do whatever I can to help you.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's say there's two alternatives. One, the Tellarites, they got into a big argument and killed themselves, right? That's the easiest, we don't have to worry about anything argument. Two, she killed one of them with her athame. But they were gonna, they were gonna assault her. They were gonna take advantage of her. They were they'd bought her. And she fought back, self-defense. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about whether we should give her back to the guy who sold her. No, we shouldn't. If someone sells me something, and then I die, this something doesn't go back to the store I bought it from. You know? Maybe it doesn't in this culture, though. Maybe it's like, if anything happens to you, returns to me. Anyway, there's all sorts of... I'm not even going to talk about the whole ethical and moral stuff about owning people, slavery in general. Let's just pretend we talked about all of that stuff. Just keep it light, though. Keep it light here. She doesn't seem like she was trying to influence Kirk there to protect her, using her wiles, but, she owned up to it too. She apologized. So there's nothing there either. It doesn't seem like, sometimes when people come aboard and they have some sort of power, some sort of pheromones, you're worried that maybe they have ulterior motives and they're going to convince, like she's going to go around to Drake and to Bones and Scotty for sure, and get them to help her do something evil, but I don't get that vibe from her. Well, I could be wrong about that. Maybe she's the real monster. She's kind of like a Disney princess, though, in a way. Hey, dude, are you under her thrall? Oh, you will be soon.
Are you lost? Do you need help with anything?
This is where I'm gonna have to leave your ship forever.
Where are you going to go?
Does this man have a name?
Kenway.
Kenway?
Matthew.
A monster is coming to take me back to Orion. Please don't let him. I will go anywhere as long as it's away from him.
Fight for her, Kenway.
What if we were to fly away together?
In a shoalcraft?
Just the two of us.
A more detailed forensic analysis of the crime scene, only one of the Tellarites was killed by another. I know that Orion women can be very persuasive, and we mustn't allow ourselves to be deceived. She is no longer an unfortunate slave captain. She could be a murderer.
To the shuttle bay. Hangar deck. Here, there we go.
The shuttlecraft bay doors have been activated.
Seal the doors. Have security meet me at the hangar deck. Mr. Drake?
First time we've seen a female security officer.
This isn't his fault. He was only trying to protect me.
Confine her to quarters.
He was bewitched.
Matthew, forgive me!
Please, Captain, we can't let her be a slave again to anyone!
Get a hold of yourself, mister! You're confined to quarters until your next duty shift. And you're not to go near that girl again, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Chief, see that he gets there.
Handle it personally, Drake.
Kirk to sickbay. Bones, is there anything that can protect our crewmen against the effects of the Orion pheromones?
Actually, there is.
Nope.
Ship-wide inoculation can be ready at your command.
Let's do it.
Just start inoculating immediately. Kirk out. Where's Lolani?
What you doing here? Ah, finally.
Dr. McKenna gave it to me. I feel almost like a princess.
You look lovely.
Captain, I'm sorry for what I did. Even though I'm desperate to remain free, I shouldn't have manipulated your crewmen.
We've pieced together most of what happened on the Tellarite ship, but there's one important piece of information still missing.
I told them everything I remember.
Captain, it's entirely possible she's simply not conscious of everything that happened.
Yeah.
That's why Mr. Spock is here.
Oh,
I don't understand.
hi, Meld.
I will connect with your mind and reveal any additional information.
I'll be here with you the whole time.
I trust you.
Okay, so she legitimately doesn't know what happened.
Our minds are coming together.
Oh, we actually get to see it.
They're looking at me.
That's them, alright.
One touches me, then the other. These have been your protests, but they overpower him. What is on top of me?
Oh.
I fire.
No, she got him.
7 Jors wounded. There's a knife in my hand.
Well, she killed them all.
You were defending yourself as anyone in your situation would do.
Yeah.
But you will send me back. Zamenhof beats his slaves.
We do not have the authority to...
To do what? To make a difference? Well, I could. I could be the voice for women who have none.
Yeah.
Not if you send me back in chains. Please, Captain.
What do we do?
How long before Zamenhof's ship arrives?
Any moment.
And then what? Just hand her over as if she's property?
We do not have the right.
Spock, you of all people. You felt it.
I confess I was unprepared for the anguish I experienced during my mind meld with Lolani.
Yeah.
And there are many more like her. The Orions are not known for their civility, gentlemen. She could be beaten to death. Starfleet isn't here. If they were, perhaps they'd see things differently.
But
yeah, maybe
they'd still be bound by the same laws that we are.
Orion vessel approaching with 1 passenger on board.
Have the transporter room stand by. We're on our way.
I want to see how much of a dick this guy is. If he starts acting all sorts of entitled in front of Kirk, he's gonna figure something out. He's not gonna let that guy get what he wants. No way. Maybe he'd be all nice, you know? That's what the Orion guy should be. He should be all, pretend to be reasonable and nice, but he won't be. You know he won't be. It's interesting. I think this conversation here would have still happened no matter what Spock had seen in his vision. Like if she was completely innocent, we'd still have this conversation about, because Starfleet still wants to just give her back. That hasn't changed, regardless of whether she killed the Tellarites or not. But what I do like about this episode is that I like the additional nuance that she was raised elsewhere. She was educated, and then they brought her back into this whole situation. It makes it worse for her because she's aware of how awful it is. And as she said, she could be the voice of her people to lead to a change in their society, maybe, or die trying.
Dinner. We'll treat him with all the proper courtesy and serve him a civilized dinner he won't soon forget. All right, gentlemen, are we ready?
Something's not sitting right in my gut about this, sir.
Cameraman's on the floor, gentlemen.
Energize.
Smiles on, gentlemen. He looks friendly.
I'm Captain James Kirk.
Captain Kirk, it's the honor to board your fair ship. It's a shame I can't stay longer.
I'm delighted to hear you say that. We've prepared a dinner in anticipation of your arrival.
I've never been the one to turn down a free meal.
He is playing it smart. He is. This guy. He's doing what I said he would. He wasn't going to do. I thought he'd be all smarmy and entitled and stuff and give me the girl because, stand out of my way. I own her, etc., etc. But he's all, hey, buddies. How's it going? Oh, you honor me with your welcome. He's all chill. This is smart from his perspective, but his true colors will show. And I'll tell you can't hide the green.
Much less in the company of these revered men.
Oh, we need Uhura to see how he reacts to her, or McKenna.
I'll join you shortly.
Take as much time as you want, Captain.
So far, so friendly.
Now that was unexpected.
Yeah.
He seems nice.
Yeah.
Kind of slave trader.
Yeah. Oh, aren't you supposed to be confined
You're
to...
supposed to be in your quarters.
Yeah.
I'm to deliver a message regarding her owner. I can show you a copy of my orders if you'd like.
That's not necessary. I'll be right outside.
It is necessary. I'd want to see it. See if he was bullshitting or anything.
Matthew.
I had to see you. I wish there was some way I could help you.
Can you make me disappear? Can you make Zamenhof disappear?
I hate what's happening to you and those on your planet, but what can I do? I'm nobody.
Kill him, dude.
If I've learned anything, it's everyone is someone. That's the message that needs to reach others like me. I feel like I'm screaming and no one can hear me.
We can hear you.
I hear you.
The security officer outside can't, though. Shouldn't you be running in here? You know, I'll be right outside. I won't be listening, but I'll be right out here. Meanwhile, Lolani's screaming in her quarters. And just standing outside. I'm not listening, just standing. Hey, maybe there's good soundproofing on these quarters. Hey, here's a compliment to Star Trek Continues. I'm making fun of things. That's how you know I just feel like it's another Star Trek episode.
I'm sorry.
Well, a lot of good you are, Kenry.
What is this delicious meat?
It is an earth vegetable. It is called eggplant.
Eggplant.
There's also scream when it's boiled. And what is this beverage? I can't take the alcohol.
I should have gotten.
The females of your species release a powerful pheromone that I had to inoculate the crew against.
It's good you did that, Doctor.
Are the males of your species gifted with a similar biochemical control?
We do have a certain natural scent that can attract the desired mate.
Nope. Watch yourself, McKenna.
Lolani says you're a brutal monster.
Scotty.
She's a very troubled girl. I treat her well.
Please forgive Mr. Scott for his lack of sensitivity.
Yeah, Scotty.
No apology necessary. I've got 218 slaves.
Holy shit.
Beautiful girl. Don't hold back. Just ask me any question.
It's my understanding that the Orion people have practiced slavery since the discovery of fire.
Correct.
Perhaps it even caused a war or two in your early tribal culture?
The Alliance never cared to chronicle our history in great detail.
How do you ever expect to learn from it?
Easy, Doc.
Our women had no purpose. It fell upon the men to give them direction. They're next to animals without it.
Now that,
wow,
I can understand. Take Dr. McKenna here. She certainly benefits from my guidance as a man. I'm wondering, how much would you pay for her?
Careful, dude.
She could be your 219th.
Nah, this woman's educated, refined, civilized.
And what about Lolani?
Yeah, she's educated too.
She's as learned and capable as any Starfleet officer. She's not a slave. She's a woman with a fundamental right to be free.
Here we go. Dinner's over.
Captain, I like you. The hour's late, and we're not going to change each other's minds over a fine dinner.
How about a fight?
Take my leave and return with my Lolani.
With my Lolani.
Any other ideas?
Bop him over the head.
Greetings, friend. Thank you for caring for my dear girl. You're free to go.
How's this gonna go?
You have them eating out of your hand. I'm a brutal monster. When I get you back, you're gonna regret the day you ever imagined yourself as anything but a slave!
Oh, do we have cameras in here? Oh, Kirk, get him! One chop. Oh, no. You're gonna need at least 3 chops. Yeah! Nice kick.
Do it! Bleed me out! Go on, come on!
Do it. Maybe. She can't. You do it, Kirk.
You had no right to interfere.
This is
Civilized
the ship.
men do not treat people as property. But if that's all you understand, how much do you want for her?
Oh.
What?
Lolani, I wish her free from you by any means.
Hey, I literally never even considered that. He owns her. Again. He's gonna sell her again. We could just buy her. Never considered that that's a weird option, but yeah. This guy's ready. He's not trigger happy though. He's well disciplined. Not like the red shirts on the OG ship. This is the OG ship. Promote that man.
No.
No.
Why?
Because it pleases me to deny you. You will not win this one. Now, Captain Kirk, you stand aside. Or when I'm done with you and your Starfleet, you'll be lucky to command a Gamma Scout.
I think that's a no.
I shouldn't have to tell you that what you did was completely irresponsible. It was practically akin to striking a political figure.
He was slapping her.
And what about the families of the slain Tellarites? Do they not deserve justice as well?
Baby.
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave.
Don't call her that.
Lolani.
You have your orders. Starfleet out.
We never get any help from Starfleet. I don't know why we talk to them. Cool ship though. What are we doing? What are we gonna do?
Thank you for the fine dinner, Captain. May our paths never cross again.
Likewise.
See ya, Matthew.
Energize.
Beam him into space, maybe. This is gonna be real dark if we just give her back and that's it.
Permission to leave my post, Captain.
Granted. Dude.
McCoy told me he inoculated the crew.
He's in love with her, though.
He did, sir.
She liked him a little bit, I think, too. Oh, see that?
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave.
Her name is Lolani.
What are you gonna do? I have no idea.
All hands, this is the captain. I'm about to violate a direct order from Starfleet Command. And my log will reflect that none of the crew are complicit. Mr. Sulu, close the distance to Zamenhof's ship.
Oh, okay.
Bring us within transporter range. Stand by to beam Lolani aboard.
Oh, we're just gonna get her. We're just gonna grab her.
We're in transporter range now, Captain.
Transporter room.
Get her. What the hell? Did she do that? Wow. She'd do anything not to go back with him. She could have got explosives somehow? Another book. The Roman Empire. A message? Maybe we'll get some closure on this. What happened?
If you found this recording, it means I have failed. I did not wish for my life to end this way, but I thought it was the only means left to send a message to those who enslave others. The message of hope must go on. Thousands of young Orion girls are longing, desperate to live free. It is obvious I will not be the one to carry that message, though I pray another will. Freedom at all costs.
Well, she took matters into her own hands. Aiken. How you doing, dude?
Permission to take an extended leave, Captain. To visit family.
Would this family happen to be anywhere near the Orion system?
Yes, sir.
You can take the message.
Yes, it would.
You can take the message there.
Granted.
Thank you, sir.
Kenway. You may need this.
Yep. A piece of cheese. Good calcium. Will get you halfway there. I like this ending a lot. Oh! Lufer... That's... Wait a second, isn't that the Incredible Hulk? We've already had an Incredible Hulk connection. Remember in What Little Girls Are Made Of? What are little girls made of? The Rock was played by the guy who did the voiceover for that show. Oh, it was Erin Gray. Erin Gray. It was a cameo. A famous, cool cameo. She was in Buck Rogers. And probably lots of other things. That's a neat little thing. So we got someone from Battlestar Galactica last time. Got someone from Buck Rogers this time. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling she was going to be somebody famous. Yeah. And yeah, it was the Incredible Hulk. He looks great for his age, by the way. Because my brain was kind of breaking. I was like, no, wait a second. It can't be. Because that was, like, the Incredible Hulk was the 80s. And wouldn't he... How old was he? He must have been really young. Like, the prime of his life when he was the Incredible Hulk. He looks great now. The ending to this episode. I like the dark ending. You know, all episode long I'm like, how are we gonna save this girl? We can't just give her back to him. We did. Although, we'll talk about that in a second. My idea was to pretend that she had died, you know, with the Tellarites. And she was vaporized, so there's no evidence that she... we can't show you any proof of that, but you gotta trust us, or do you want to cause some sort of a war between the Federation and the Orions? That would have been... I think that might have worked. You know? We just hide her out somewhere. It's hard, though, because she's... You know, the colour of her skin really stands out. So it'd be hard for her to blend in. We had to just put a hat on her or something. And have her go about her day. But yeah, she took matters into her own hands at the end. We did give her back to him. So dark. This ending is so dark, you know? I like the mood of the ending. Just focusing on Kenway and then the captain just sitting there in silence. There's a certain maturity to the story choice to do that, I think. And again, impressed with the production and the story that they did something like this. It would have been easy to save the day and get the girl and that guy to have egg on his face, but they didn't. Now, what's interesting is that Kirk had decided to get her. He was just going to beam her off. Like, that guy mustn't have had shields or anything. Just going to beam her off his ship and then get out of there. And potentially cause a conflict. And he would lose his command, potentially. He had made that choice to do that. And he confessed it to the entire crew. You know, before he did it. I was wondering how he's going to do it without any of the other crew being implicated. I guess the transporter, whoever was on transporter duty, would have been aiding and abetting. Sulu getting close to the ship, that's fine. But whoever's on transporter duty. Hey, maybe it was Kenway. He wouldn't have minded doing that. I like his character too, because even though the whole crew was inoculated, he just liked her because he liked her. She didn't really have to... She did use her magic on him earlier in the episode, but she didn't need to. And he's taken it on himself to sort of help her after she's dead, to sort of help the other Orion women in that sort of situation. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but I think the implication is that he's going to help in some way. He's got the message. I can't believe it's the Incredible Hulk, and that's funny as well. Remember I was saying last time, Apollo? Big green guy. You know? I'm going to be looking for something in every episode now. You don't want to start me on games, because I'll keep playing the game. Looking for things that aren't necessarily going to be there. We're looking for cameos. We're looking for parallels, mirrorings. You know, we're looking for all sorts of things. I was looking for Kyle in this episode, but Kenway's was pretty cool. And that blonde lady in sickbay, I think she hasn't been referred to as Nurse Chapel, but she's been in both episodes, so maybe she is. She is until they call somebody else that. I like the focus, and they deliberately put in a lot of female characters into this episode, walking in corridors, or one of the members of security. And I think that was an interesting choice to do that in this episode when we're talking about female empowerment. You know? It's showing the contrast between the two systems very well. I thought that Orion guy was going to make a bigger deal of McKenna at the meal, when they're all having a nice meal together. Like he was going to be insulted maybe that she dare sit with us, and his mask would drop, but that's not what happened. He actually played it very smart for the first 50% of his time on the ship. Very friendly, very amicable, you know? Just kind of rebuffing attempts to rile him up. But then once he went to Lolani's quarters, he was... Yeah. So I'm not surprised that she did what she did. She made it very clear that she did not want to go back there. She would not go back there. And I think once you've been put in a situation and then you're freed from that situation, the idea of going back to it is worse than if you'd never been freed in the first place. I think. It rings through, definitely. And I liked her character too. She was a little manipulative with her power, but for good reason, and she apologized for it. She was very self-aware in that way. There was no real point where I suspected that she was up to no good, even when she was trying to get off the ship. And as usual, Starfleet, no help whatsoever. Always giving us a line, aren't they? Why do they always have to be jerks? Hey, we didn't have a Chekhov in this episode. We got some new guy. I thought he was going to be an important part of the episode because they just introduced him. Not really. Just a bit of flavor to the episode. Just an extra person to talk to. No harm in that. I don't know if he's anyone particular. Maybe he's a cameo too. I don't know. New Zealand, I think he was from. Oh wait, what? He was played by Daniel Logan, who played Boba Fett in Star Wars. So there's a connection. The Star Wars Star Trek crossover you didn't know you needed. So yeah, I guess whenever somebody is introduced in an episode and you're like, what was that about? Check him out, see if there's somebody sci-fi famous. Because they probably will be. Lolani was played by Fiona Vroom, which is a great name. Vroom? I don't know if that's a real name, but she could have been an actress, she could have been a speed racer with a name like that. She's been in some sci-fi things too. She's been in a lot, actually. So, yeah, we've had a good run now. These first 2 episodes have been quite strong. And it gives me hope for the rest of the show. That they didn't start strong. You know, you might imagine that if you're developing something, you put your best foot forward. And they did. They got Apollo back. That's a huge boon for the show. And you might think, well, they start strong to get the audience in and then they fall off a bit. This episode did not feel like a falling off a bit. This felt like this was great. And you know what? You know what I like? It's not anything to do with this production, but I'm very happy that they got the rights to use the music, or were allowed to use the original music, because that sets the tone for the show, and it's like an identity for the show and the ship. You know, the sets they can remake, you know, no problems there, but getting the music too, like even without any cast, without any actors or actresses, you would feel you're on the ship because of that music, because of what you're looking at and what you're hearing. And that's so important, I think. And it really makes you feel like it's kind of a cozy feel to me. We're still continuing the mood lighting. It's just slightly darker than the real show. Slightly, there's something a little cozier about it. Not as brightly, harshly lit. But that, I don't know if that's true or not. That's just a feeling I get as we go from room to room. So yeah, another 2 thumbs up. I gave 2 thumbs up last time. Another 2 thumbs up. I'm running out of thumbs. I've used 4 of them already. Let's check out the title of episode 3. It's called Fairest of Them All. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall. So, yeah. Just saying that, and we know what Mirror Mirror refers to. Maybe Mirror Universe episode. Maybe. Just based on the title. I'm looking forward to it, genuinely. I'm so glad I found this show. I'm so glad I'm doing it. You know? Because it was hard to say goodbye to. After watching the original series for 1.5 years, you kind of get withdrawal from it. You know? And having this back is just like, my brain is like, more episodes, yeah. I'm just sad that it's just such a limited number that we're going to get. But let's enjoy them as we, while we have them. Enjoy each episode in turn. And I'm glad of your company, checking them out. Check out the rest go watch them. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. Don't wait for me to watch them. And check back in to see what I thought. I will see you next time for Fairest of Them All. Have a great day. We'll see you there.